When I told her what I did, she gave me champagne. That's when she told me champagne secret. Champagne. Ooh. Champagne. That's when she told me champagne secret. Ooh, champagne. That's when she told me champagne secret.
Truth drop, welcome to the show. Champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow.
Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex. To the show, champagne secrets, let your power grow. Every video spark, ignite your inner light. Raise a glass to the future, shining bright. Empowerment is the code, we decode. Unravel mysteries, life's own secret load. Step by step, tap in, find your flow. With champagne secrets, you're gonna glow. Unlock the strength within you, watch it bloom. Life's a canvas, painted every room. Through ups and downs, cheers to what's next. Champagne secrets, life's complex.
'a second and let's talk. Yo, DJ, roll that beautiful champagne footage.
Confidants, what is your profession? See my friend, nothing but soldiers and empowerment always.
Pop that cork, let it rain, living lavish, no restraint.
Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang. Can I be yelling out gang gang? Do you gang bang? I be outside with my gang gang. Chunk your gang signs if you gang bang. I be outside with my gang.
Champagne gang, FizzFam, confidants, and visitors to the Champagne City. Welcome in for a quick little sip, savor, and spill, a little champagne conversation. If my gang is in the house, please do me a favor and drop some champagne glasses in the chat for me as we get ready to get into the show. And welcome in Progressive One. Thank you for the remember to hit that like, subscribe, share, savor the excellence, sip the knowledge, and learn from the spill. You better talk about it. Talk about it. Y'all know we have been dealing with this whole thing with these trifling leaders in the church, not just leaders in the church, but we're also dealing with individuals that we choose to allow to lead our lives. So, not even just lead your life, but just be a part of your life. And since we were having a discussion about this quote unquote alleged Apostle David Taylor and his shenanigans with Michelle, I think it's Brannon, I said, you know what? Because this isn't a new issue. Let us go back and look at some of the other religious cult leaders who have come out and literally destroyed the people, all quote unquote in the name of God. And to be honest with you, it's a lot of the reason why people turn away from God and turn away from the church, because a lot of it has to do with the leaders. So we're going to take a look at the leaders, because this is more than just about these individuals that we discuss. Always remember, the secret in Champagne Secrets, baby, is empowerment. So we look at these stories to see what kind of lessons can we learn for our lives. Remember, our opinions, their stories. And our objective is to take their issues and apply it to us so that we don't fall for the same traps. Somebody put hashtag avoid the trap in the chat, because that's what we're trying to do on today, all right? So we getting ready to get into it. Hold on. Y'all, I'm in between two screens, so bear with me. So I wanted to put this little background and have this going in the background, because I always want us to remember the individuals that this affected. This is a lot bigger than just Jim Jones. This is about, we said the other day, when you get the mind, you get everything else. That's why the old saying said it's mind over matter. Because if I got your mind, baby, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters, because everything else gonna fall in line as long as I have your mind. That's why they say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. And that's why you should always be pouring stuff into your mind to help build it up, and not tear it down and build it up and fill it with toxicity and negativity and negative thinking and negative impulses and all of that stuff that brings destruction. So today we're going to be discussing Jim Jones and the whole thing that happened with Jonestown and the countless number of individuals who lost their lives during this. There was even several news clips about this whole situation. So let me drop this to the back. So in total, they're saying 914 people allegedly died, 300 of which were children, babies, who lost their lives in this absolutely, I don't even know how to describe it. I really don't. Senseless, because you take people who are vulnerable, who are looking for answers, and you exploit that weakness. You exploit that vulnerability within them, and then cause them to lose their lives because they're trusting you are who you said you are. Because everybody's looking for an answer, and not everybody knows how to, quote unquote, try the spirit by the spirit. Not everyone has the spirit of discernment, because a lot of people can't even see past their vulnerability. And you will prey on these individuals for financial gain. This is why we say, and I want y'all to remember it, power corrupts. Absolute power absolutely corrupts. You want to know the heart of an individual? Give them some power. Just get it. That's why the old saying used to say, if you you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Because power corrupts. If you really want to know who a person really is, give them a little bit of power. Matter of fact, give them an inch into your life and see how they behave. Matter of fact, you don't even have to give them an inch. Just look at the inches they've already taken in your life. Right? So we're going to get ready to get into it. Hold on 1 second. Well, I don't want you to be faded out. Oh, this is why. There we go. So we're talking about Jim Jones and the Jonestown Massacre. Of course, this happened in 2 different places. And it's where people get the saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid, or you drank the Kool-Aid, or you're drinking the Kool-Aid from. It came from this whole situation. I have a problem with anyone that wears sunglasses all the time. You know, they say the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And if you have on sunglasses all the time, it makes me feel like you're trying to hide something. Because why don't you ever want to show your eyes? Especially if you are a leader over people, they ought to be able to look in your eyes and see your heart and see your soul and know that you have the best intentions for their lives. And I think that's one of the reasons why he wore sunglasses all the time, because I need to hide my intent. So I hide my eyes. That's why when they look at a lot of mass murderers, and a lot of times they'll say their eyes look empty. It looked void. It looked like pure evil. Because the eyes are said to be the gateway to the soul. You can look at a person's face a lot of times and tell what their intent is. You can look at a person's eyes and tell when they're lying to you and when they're telling the truth. So you should be really leery of anyone who can't show you their eyes. See, I keep telling y'all, you got to put on your investigation discovery hat. Wearing sunglasses all the time to hide your eyes is the equivalent of individuals who can't look you in the eye when they're having a conversation with you. Person who can't look at, and you can tell the difference between someone who's just genuinely nervous and someone who cannot look you in the eyes. You can tell the difference. There's no difference than with these sunglasses. And if you're a man of God behind the sacred desk, why would you have on sunglasses all the time anyway? We got to think about it. But let's go back and understand how this all began. So, his origins, right? Act 1, the emergence of a Messiah complex. 1931 to about the 1970s. So his origins and early formation. He was born in 1931 in Indiana, the son of a KKK member. Now, I need you to remember that because it's going to make sense. Now, if I forget to remember son of a KKK member, I need y'all to drop it in the chat so we can talk about it when we get to the videos of him in his church with his people and the types of people that he chose to cater to and to send this message to. All right? Remember that. Son of a KKK member. So he dropped out of Indiana University. He married Marceline later. In the mid-1950s, he founded the People's Temple in Indiana, blending Pentecostal fervor with socialist ideals under the label apostolic socialism. So he decided he wanted to create his own version of Christianity, per se, his own quote unquote religion. And this is why I have a problem with a lot of religions today. See, I'm not religious, I have a relationship. There's two different things. Me and God have a relationship. It has nothing to do with religion. But this is what I have a problem with, because you get all of these branches simply because somebody didn't like what was going on. So I have a different thought process and I have a different ideology of the way it should be run. So what I'm going to do is take part of what I learned over here and I'm going to go over here and start my own sect. So now we got the Baptists. Now we got Church of God in Christ. Now we got Church of God. Now we got Methodists. Now we got African Methodists. Now we got American Methodists. Now, so everything is split because when you don't have relationship and you don't seek him for yourself, you just blindly following whoever blindly want to follow until you decide you don't want to follow no more. Now I'm going to step away and start my own thing because this is what I feel like it should be. Is anybody seeking the God you said you serve to see what he says it should be? Maybe that's the question we should be asking. But let me keep going. Hold on. So, early growth and manipulation. So he moved to California in the mid to 60s. His sermons emphasized racial integration and civil rights, earning local political favor in San Francisco. Built control, members pooled income, assets, implemented confession sessions, loyalty tests, and healing rituals, cutting off skeptics, right? Now, I can actually throw it in right here because a lot of the individuals that Jim Jones catered to, they were African American individuals. So when he talks about he blended that Pentecostal, he knew because Black people have a different kind of church than white people. So if you're going to reach Black people, you have to have a different communication. You have to have a different level of church because we're used to excited church. We're used to being moved, to dancing, to shouting, to singing loudly, to making a joyful noise unto the Lord. White people, on the other hand, unless you have an apostolic white church, they're more calm. Catholics are more calm. You're not going to have a bunch of screaming and yelling and all of that going on in a Catholic service. It's the same mentality that David Taylor used with his congregation. Because the same way Jim Jones catered to Black people, David Taylor developed an organization, because I don't want to call it a ministry, that catered to white people. He catered to the money. Jim Jones catered to the vulnerability. He saw a target audience, and he knew as a white man, and don't nobody get in my comments saying that I'm making this Black versus white. This has nothing to do with that. We're dealing with the facts. We're dealing with Jim Jones. Every white person ain't Jim Jones. We're not going to do that in the comments. Please and don't. It will be deleted, removed, interrupted, control, alt, delete. We don't do that. However, it is a fact that Jim Jones catered to an African American crowd. He understood we're at a time where Black people are fighting for their rights. They're fighting to be individuals. They're fighting to be seen. They're fighting to have a place. They're fighting to have a voice. In his mind, He said, I don't need to go over here and talk to the white people. Because there's a bunch of people already talking to the white people. Let me go over there and talk to them. A lot of times, the Bible has a scripture that says a prophet isn't welcome in his own country. Let me make it live for you. In this situation, a black person probably could have came to black people preaching the same message, and it wouldn't have been received because that black person was one of them. But here you have this white man that looks like what's opposing us, coming to us and telling us that we're actually the ones who are supposed to be reigning and on top. And he can help us build a community built off love and care and concern, and where we can all live together. And I can bring some white people in here, and now we got black people and white people living in harmony, which is what the people want. And everything sounded good until you looked at the leader. I need to show you something really quick. Hold on. There's a scripture in the Bible. Go back. Deals with masters and teachers. James 3:1 says, my brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. Do you know why it says masters and teachers at the top? Because the word master is translated teacher. Do you know why? Because if you're going to teach a subject, you should have mastered it. You can't teach me about love if you haven't mastered love. You can't teach me about making a marriage work if you haven't learned from your mistakes. See what I said right there? If you haven't learned from your mistakes, because a lot of people will think if you've been divorced, you can't help me in my marriage. That is so completely untrue. And let me tell you why it's untrue. Because if I've learned from my mistakes, then I can teach you how not to make the same ones. See, a lot of times we push away the very help that we need because of who the messenger is, instead of putting the messenger aside and hearing the message. Now, what does it mean? It means really don't be real quick to grab the mic or the title. Leadership isn't just influence, it's accountability. Knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation, the more responsibility that you have, the more God will hold you to the account. If you mislead, if you misuse, if you mishandle people, the judgment is going to be heavier because you said you were a master. You said you were at a level where you are equipped to deal with this subject. You are equipped to be a leader. The instruction that was left for leaders were feed my sheep. Not serve them up on a silver platter. Not get the sheep to unalive themselves. Let's keep going. The watchman, Ezekiel 33:6. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people not be warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. This is basically saying, if you saw this was happening and you didn't say nothing, but you sat idly back and saw this getting bad and going from bad to worse and going from worse straight to the pit of hell, and you said nothing, All that blood is on your hands. All the churches, all the prophets that was running around at the time, all these mega ministries. You mean to tell me the anointing was only in your ministry? God only gave you a prophetic eye for your ministry? That you didn't see this happening and blow an alarm? Even if they didn't listen, them listening is not on you, that's on them. What's on you is when you don't say nothing. This is why I say they crept in unaware. Somebody wasn't paying attention. The watchman was not on the wall. Now take that and flip it around to you. When you see danger going on in your life, when you see yourself headed for destruction, or you see somebody close to you, you know, those people that you call quote unquote friends, when you see them headed toward a brick wall and you don't say nothing, baby, that blood is on your hand. It's on your hand, friend, sis, bruh, Browdy. It's on your hands. Because that's what you're in their life for. That's why y'all are connected. If a person can't look after you like that, baby, they're not your friend. Walk away. Turn around. Turn your back. They're supposed to be a watchman for you. You're supposed to be a watchman for them. And if you're not blowing an alarm in their life when they getting ready to crash and burn, and if you're not blowing an alarm and they're not blowing one in your life, baby, walk away. Control, Alt, delete. Scramble. Remove yourself. Somebody saw this Jim Jones thing getting ready to happen. Somebody saw this David Taylor thing getting ready to happen. But you kept your eyes so focused on building your community that you didn't sound the alarm on this until people were absolutely destroyed and now questioning God. And God probably sitting in heaven like, it is 100 prophets on the earth right now saying they are the voice of God, and y'all mad at me because they not doing their job. Y'all mad at me. The Bible says, there's a scripture, it says, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, seek my face, turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven. I will forgive their sins. I will heal their land. If my people, he wasn't talking to the world. He wasn't talking to those who didn't accept him. He wasn't talking to those who were sinning. He wasn't talking to those who were being led by their own devices. He wasn't talking about those who were YOLO, you only live once, I gotta do me. He wasn't talking to those. He said, if my people, the so-called blood-bought believers of the Most High God, if my people who were called by my name will humble themselves and pray, seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, not the world, not the sinners, not the fornicators, not the homosexuals. He said, if my people, the Christians, them, the ones that had their nose so turned up, they can't see what's going on in front of them because their eyes is constantly to the sky, allegedly. If them people would turn from their wicked ways, then I'll hear from heaven. I'll heal the land. So all this stuff that's going on in the world, while we sitting back talking about it, Christians, all this stuff going on in the world, it's not the world's fault. It's our fault. But no, we ain't ready for that kind of conversation. Let me continue. This this is the scripture where it talks about crept in unaware. Someone let their guard down. For there are certain men crept in unaware, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. Jude 1 and 4. This is why I said they crept in unaware. Somebody wasn't paying attention. Because how was a Jim Jones situation allowed to happen? But let us get back to him for a second. Let us get back to old Jim. So, Act 2, Isolation Strategy and the Utopian Mirage. 1973 to 1977. Y'all like these slides that I took the time to put together for y'all? Y'all know y'all girl be doing some research. I'll be doing some research and creating to give y'all these shows. Y'all see the Empress Chambers in the background? I'm gonna have to build that. Gonna have to do it. Yes, I am. And the door gonna have to look just like that. I promise you, it is. Because that's just lit to me. It's lit to me. It's a she, her, for real. But see, y'all be acting like you can't love the Lord and talk about the Lord and have a good time. Sheesh. Get it together, saints and friends. Get it together. Go hug your neighbor and tell your neighbor, smile. Laugh a little. Your life might start turning around if you laugh a little. Just laugh. Just take your arms. Wrap your arms around yourself. Hug yourself and say, I love me on today. Stop being so stuffy. Oh my goodness. But Choosing the Jungle, 1973 to 1974. So it says, amid criticism in the U.S., Jones sought refuge and selected Guyana as a safe, socialist-aligned paradise. He leased 3,800 acres, establishing the People's Temple agricultural project, Jonestown. So he did grow a lot of stuff. And because I am going to drop the link, I didn't put the whole thing. See, if I would have did this all in OBS, then I would have been able to have, show you the pictures and stuff of his agricultural project. But they were growing food. And this is what I'm saying. The idea wasn't bad. The leader was. See, that's what we miss. Sometimes we condemn what happened by, am I saying that right? Sometimes we condemn who did it by what was done, when what was done should be condemned because of who did it, if that makes sense. What he was trying to do was not bad. Bring black people together, white people together. They putting their money together. They're building. They're living off the grid. Just nothing wrong with that. Growing their own food. Some of y'all need to go buy some seeds right now and figure out how to grow your own food. The way food prices is soaring, you don't know what's going to happen from one moment to the next. So the idea wasn't bad, but when you have an evil individual that's leading the realm, and that's why you have to be careful and start paying attention to the people that you're dealing with. Because most psychopaths and sociopaths are extremely charming. Being charmed you right under a knife. And because you were so wooed in. You know how they say the sirens do, the mermaids in the ocean, they woo you in with the song, the siren song, and they just get you like you're glamored. You can't turn away. Because we're turned on by the suaveness, the gift of words, the even in our preachers. You don't want no preacher that look old. Most people ain't going to a church with a preacher who is 60 and 70 years old. They not. They're going to the next best thing. The young preacher that looks good on TV. Even if it's a woman pastor, the young woman pastor that looks good. Hair done. They ain't going to no old woman to sit and listen. It's not lively enough. And that's what be leading us astray. Because we're constantly chasing the glitz and glamour. Building the illusion. Temple members endured grueling labor, poor living conditions, and intense political indoctrination, Soviet media glorification, and anti-capitalist propaganda loops, censorship, and armed guards enforcing Jones' control. Now, he had an obsession with the Soviet Union. He actually wanted Jonestown to be a part of them, and he was petitioning Russia to be able to accept him, which is crazy. But you pull people from the United States. When you sit back and I know this was a different time. Us outside now looking in, it's just like this whole setup was absolutely diabolical. When you think about the mind of a man who says, I am going to target this culture of people. This was another form of slavery. It was, to me, like the ultimate form of racism. And I don't even know, I have to have a conversation with ChatGPT to get them to explain it the way that I'm trying to say it. Because you targeted, you didn't even target your own people. You targeted a whole nother culture, but you targeted them like you were a savior to them. And you turned out to be their antichrist. So much so, and we're going to get to it, but so much so, you got them to take their own life. Majority of them, because a lot of them you unalive. But then turned around and was too coward to do it yourself. You had to be sticky, icky in the head. It's crazy to me. What's even crazier is the minds of individuals who thought it was normal and somehow thought that what they were doing was following God. Because you have a sick, twisted individual at the helm that's convincing you that what you're doing is unto God. But basically what he did was force you back into slavery for his gain. And he was just a slave master. Only problem is he dealt with it like real history, because real history wasn't just black people that were slaves. White people were slaves in history too. Wasn't in our history books, but you know. So he done made everybody slaves in his camp under God. And they believed it. This is what makes me wonder, like, were they not allowed to have their own Bibles to read for themselves? This is crazy. Drop in the comments and let me know if you've ever been caught up in a cult, almost caught up in a cult, even if you realized it was a cult and walked away from it. Have you ever been encountered with a situation and you said, you know what? Yeah, that's this, nah. It seemed like real cultish. So then he started introducing, and that's why you got to be careful too, because if it was a situation where once they got there, they were just trapped and couldn't leave, that's even crazier, because it's like a moth drawn to a flame. I'm going to put words out there to make them sound good to draw you in, but low key, you don't even realize the flame is a trap. It's not there to help you, it's there to hurt you. So then he introduced the white knight drills, using fear to simulate government attacks to test obedience, highlighting his growing paranoia. So once he started building everything and, abusing these people and treating them like his own off-brand slaves, then he got scared. So he started doing these white knight drills with his armed guards and security and all of this stuff, so that just in case they came and stormed his encampment, they would be ready to fight back. Because now he's paranoid. I wonder, does drugs have anything to do with that? So 77 and 78, exposure and legal pressure. Media exposes and defections, and defections is what's known to him as individuals who leave the compound. They would be called defectors. In the US, triggered defensive paranoia. So now you have people who are escaping and leaving, and so now he's getting extremely paranoid because he feels like once they ran, they gonna, spill tea and let everybody know what he been really doing to them people up in there and what they really dealing with, what they going through. Concerned relatives began to lobby Congress. So now you have the relatives of the people who are in the compound who now they're getting scared and concerned because, you know what, I feel like they trapped and they can't get out, and we need to do something to try to rescue these people who may not want to leave. Who may want to leave, and they trapped. So now you have a mass exodus. So responding to the pressure, Jones orchestrated the big move. Hundreds of loyal members were relocated to Guyana, isolated from oversight. So Act 4, inside the commune, this is 77, 78. So now we're looking at deterioration and control. The daily life was nothing but long work hours. There was barely any food, repeated indoctrination rallies, and total control over personal and family relationships. Surveillance, loudspeakers broadcasting Jones' voice 24/7. That would drive me crazy. That would drive me crazy. Absolutely. That is torture. No wonder these doggone, they was what is it called? What is it called? Lobotomized? Is that the word? Y'all know what I mean, I think. You know what what's his name in Milwaukee did to his victims when he drilled the hole and poured the acid in their head. I think I'm saying the right word, but he basically did that without using any tools or any acid or any chemicals or anything. I gotta listen to your voice 24/7. No, I'm gonna be homicidal. What do you mean? Ain't no way. These people were afraid and lobotomized. Y'all, I just want y'all to sit back and think. Just sit back and think of what these people had to be going through. Medical care was limited, and punitive minor infractions led to horrifying torture. So you gonna torture me, and you don't even have the medical supplies to fix me back up after you do it, including confinement in boxes or forced stays in wells. So not only do I have to hear your voice 24/7, but if I do something you don't like, I gotta be stuffed in a box, confined, while listening to your voice 24/7. And I can't even move. Or I gotta be forced to stay in a well, confined, while listening to your voice. I'm surprised them people didn't unalive themselves then. I'm surprised we didn't hear none of those stories. Then the financial facade. Despite access to millions via U.S. welfare and donations, basic needs went unmet while power remained consolidated. So all the money that the U.S. was giving him for the people who were there through welfare and donations to his little compound, he wasn't feeding these people or providing them with decent housing at all. Investigation by Congressman Ryan. So now we're getting towards the end. He's super paranoid. He flipping out. People done ran away. Family is asking questions. They want to come in and see what's going on. So now he's choosing to go into the jungle. Hold on. Told you I'm in between two screens. Okay, so 73 to 74, amid criticism in the U.S., Jones sought refuge and selected Guyana as a safe, socialist-aligned paradise. He leased 3,800 acres, establishing the People's Temple Agricultural Project, Jonestown, building the illusion. So, temple members endure grueling labor, poor living conditions, and intense political indoctrination. I think we did that one. Hold on. Let's go to the So now we're getting, oh, I know what happened. It copied twice. That's okay. I could tell you about it. So, forget the bottom part because that's the wrong information. Top part. Congressman decides he's going to come to the island to check to see what's going on. Because really at the end of the day, they really have no evidence in order to storm this compound and do anything. So he wants to go in to check, let me put eyes on the people to see if everybody good. So they set up this whole welcoming for the congressman. Congressman comes in, he's looking around. And there's a whole documentary on this. I watched it the other day. And every time I do, I got to prepare myself to see what those people really went through at that compound. And hear people like really begging to escape and get out. But he goes in, sets an eye. One of the guys passes him a note. He wants to escape. He ends up, while he's there, talking to a bunch of people who want to leave. So he makes plans to help them escape. This is when they get out. They get to the air landing of the plane that they're getting ready to get on. And because Jim Jones is so paranoid, he orders some of his sergeant-at-arms men, whatever you want to call them, to go to the landing, and they open fire on the plane. A few people ran off into the woods, survived. The congressman, the cameraman, some other people who were trying to escape were all unalived. So after this happens, they get back, and this is where we can go to the next slide. So they get back to Jonestown, and now Jim Jones has gathered everybody together, and told everybody now is the time for us to sacrifice ourselves. Some defectors that ran off with the people actually unalived the congressman, so they're going to be coming back, and they're going to want basically blood for blood. So we should be able to choose how we die. So it's gonna be harmless. Just drink it. We're gonna take the kids first and bring them, and this is how we end up with the 900 plus individuals who were unalived. So I believe of the little over 900 total, a little over 300 were children who were poisoned, unalived, because of this sadistic, sick, demented, twisted individual who found the glitch in the system. A lot of the people that y'all listen to and look up to as these little gurus that's telling you how to make it and how to take the next step and how to do this and how to do that, a lot of it is all about the aesthetic. Because do you realize they're all either muscular or figure 8 Coke bottle? You generally don't see someone who's plus size or a guy who's heavier set, because they know women cater to the aesthetic. So the women gonna listen to him because he look good to look at. The men gonna listen to her because she look good to look at. She'll be dumb as a damn box of rocks. He could be talking in circles about nothing. And women go, yeah, 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 drinking the Kool-Aid. Drinking the Kool-Aid just because he look good and aesthetic. He found the glitch in the algorithm. The glitch in the algorithm is learn how to play on the vulnerability and you'll bring them running. Find the issue and drill that issue into the ground, you'll bring them running. That's the glitch in the algorithm. That's what we keep missing. Anytime someone shows up in your life when you're going through, make sure they have not found the glitch in your algorithm. You ever notice how certain people only show up when you're vulnerable? When you feel like you're about to break? When you feel like you can't make it? You ever notice that? They found the glitch in your algorithm. And they always gonna show up when you start glitching. That's why some of y'all gotta learn how to have confidants for real. You gotta find confidants for real who, no matter what's going on, whatever's going on with you is gonna stay with them, and they're gonna cover you until you stop glitching. They're not gonna let the world know you're glitching. Get it? Let me see if I have the total ended up being 918, because remember he had 2 different locations. U.S. Air Force ships remained to Dover AFB recovering crew suffered PTSD. Many victims unclaimed, buried at Oakland's Evergreen Cemetery. So now give me 1 second, y'all. Gotta create and adjust. We creating and adjusting.
That's when she told me champagne secret.
So I happen to find the video of um the landing, the airstrip landing, and I want to show this to you guys. You will not see anyone being unalived, but I do want to show you this because I think a lot of times when we see situations like this, we see the situation, we know there's a situation, but we really don't pay attention to the reality of the situation. That there were actually real people attached to this situation. This wasn't fiction, like this actually happened. And sometimes seeing the video footage makes it real. Like, damn, I know it happened. I know the news reported it happened. I know survivors talked about it happening, but it really happened. So check this out. Now this is them and the quote unquote defectors preparing to leave. Just want to know why they didn't leave faster. Y'all know what I mean? Like, why did they take so long to leave? Like, they was taking their sweet little time. If this many people wanted to leave this bad, like, why didn't they have some form of security? Like, you're sending a U.S. congressman over there. You wouldn't send no Secret Service, no military, no nothing to make sure they made it back okay? I don't know. That's just me.
When I told her
So what they're looking at now is they're looking at these trucks begin to pull up with some of the members from the compound with weapons as they're preparing to board the plane. And as you see, that's where he starts shooting. Now, we're getting ready to listen to Jim Jones' final conversation, a portion of it. And during this clip that we're going to listen to, this is the final act that happened right after the airstrip shooting that left just about all of those individuals unalive, except for a few that happened to escape into the woods. This is back at the compound when he's trying to convince them to drink the poison. Check this out.
That's what I'm tired of. Tired of it. 1,200 people's lives in my hands, and I certainly don't want your life in my hand. I'm going to tell you, Christine, without me, life has no meaning. Yeah. I'm the best friend you'll ever have. Well, once I have to pay, I'm standing with you, Jar. I'm standing with those people. They're part of me. I can detach myself. My attorney says detach myself. No. I never detached myself from any of your troubles. I've always taken.
You remember what I told y'all before? Anytime you have a leader or anyone in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your man, whether it's your woman, or whether it's your friend, if every conversation they has is I, this man said, I'm the best friend you ever had. I'm the best thing ever happened to you. As a leader that's supposed to be leading people to God, quote unquote, allegedly, everything is about you. I ain't heard God one time. If you are attached to an individual and everything is about them, they are not for you. Say it with me. Repeat it. Repeat after me. If you are attached to an individual and everything is about them, they are not for you. I need y'all to remember that. Remember that. Because I don't care if it's a friend, if it's your man, if it's your woman, no matter who it is. If I care about you, my concern is making you happy. Because making you happy does make me happy. If you're with me, then your concern should be about making me happy. Because making me happy should be making you happy. If I'm spending time thinking about making you happy and you spending time thinking about making me happy, how do we have time to be unhappy? Help me understand. Because see, then that would throw out that whole conversation about the first 5 years of the relationship is the hardest. Shouldn't have to be. It's only hard when you make it about you and your feelings and what you want. It's only hard when you jumped in a relationship with someone you didn't know. These people jumped in a relationship with someone they really didn't know. They jumped in a relationship with Jim Jones based off pretty words. And because he appealed to their vulnerability, he appealed to their struggle. Mind over matter. Once you get the mind, you got everything else. Why else do you think you can see a video with men unaliving their girlfriends? She got his mind. Once the mind is gone, everything else gonna follow. Once the mind is gone, the body don't care. The heart don't care. Because the mind controls that. Jim Jones captured their mind. And he knew, once I get their mind, everything else gonna follow. But where anybody that everything they say is about them? Because if it's about them all the time, it'll be about you none of the time.
Taking your troubles right on my shoulders. And I'm not going to change that now. It's too late. I've been running too long. Not going to change now. Maybe the next time you get to go to Russia, the next time around. What I'm talking about now is in the dispensation of judgment. This is the revolutionary suicide council. I'm not talking about stuff.
Revolutionary Suicide Council. I know we're in a day and age where so many people are hungry for the truth. And it becomes dangerous because I can give you the truth and still be a lie. I can tell you about love and still be evil. I can bless you with $10,000 and still hate your guts. A lot of times what happens is, whether it's church, work, friends, family, definitely. A lot of times what happens is people pull us in with the truth. And we look at the truth and expect, because you're telling me the truth, that your life lines up with the truth that you're telling me. But if we think back to an old saying that we used to hear when we were kids, do as I say, not as I do. Now take that saying and apply it to your friendships, your relationships, and all of that. Are you dealing with somebody who's telling you to do and not to do because they are not doing? Or are you dealing with someone who has that old school ideology of do as I say, not as I do? If what you're preaching is for good, why people gotta die? Why keep them if they want to be free? It was an agenda the whole time. Absolutely. So diabolical. Just like when I'm sitting now, like really processing this and going through it and going over it and taking the time to really do the research, because I knew the story of Jim Jones before I did this, but I didn't know the story of Jim Jones. Like I knew the people drank the Kool-Aid. I know some people didn't, but when I went back and watched documentaries and listened to him talk, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. This was much deeper than people even knew. And it made me stop and think about people today. Right now, you got a bunch of people who, if somebody came to them right now and told them, I'll do such and such, I'll give you $100,000 right now if you do such and such. I don't even have to say what such and such is. They gonna do it because you found the glitch in the algorithm. Right now, I'm struggling. I can't pay bills. I can't pay my rent. I got kids. I need to put food on the table. I'm trying to start this business. My business is failing. Every time I take 10 steps forward, it feels like I'm taking 20 back. And you offering me $100,000. God, I'll repent later. Run me that. I need that. And by the time you realize it was a trap, it's too late. By the time you realize what it would actually cost you, it's too late. That's what happened with them. By the time they realized what joining up with this man with these pretty words, this white man that looked like he was different from the rest because he was speaking our language. And he was speaking it in a tone that we understand because you came to us as an apostolic Pentecostal. You came to us with our level of excitement. You met us on our level to turn around and be the devil anyway. Wolves, sheep. Nasty work, right, Progressive? Nasty work. Nisi said, anytime you keep people enslaved against their will with sick teachings and abuse, that's cult-like and not church. Absolutely. It's actually witchcraft, but that's another conversation. In Vogue said, free your mind and the rest will follow. Absolutely. And that's the reason why some of us still bound. We ain't learned how to free our mind yet. We so clogged. We so clogged. You know the reason why a whole bunch of people hearing voices? Because your brain is clogged. A lot of that stuff you need to let go, and I promise some of them voices you hear were quiet. But because you got so much stuff you still trying to hold on to, all that baggage is talking to you. All that past trauma you haven't dealt with is talking to you. That's why you're hearing voices. I dare you to take the time, one at a time, to unpack the trauma that you're holding on to and just let it go. Learn how to let it go. Release it. It can't hurt you. It's not happening now. It's in the past. I promise it's gone. If you let it go and free yourself and release yourself of the guilt, I promise you that'll be one less voice in your head. I promise you. Try it and come back and tell. Watch the Matrix movie closely, allegedly. Absolutely.
Self-destruction. I'm talking about, but we have no other road. I will take your call. We will put it to the Russians, and I can tell you the answer now because I'm a prophet. Call the Russians and tell them, see if they'll take us.
I said I'm afraid to die.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
But I look at our babies and I think they deserve to live.
I agree.
You know?
But also they deserve, what's more, they deserve peace.
We all came here for peace.
And we've had...
Now listen. Now I need y'all to put on your investigation discovery hats. Now I need you to listen to what's being said, and I need you to listen to what's being implied. And I want you to listen to how being charismatic can trigger a glitch in your algorithm if you're not paying attention. She said, I'm not afraid to die, but I think the babies deserve to live. His counter was, don't you think they deserve to be free? Now, I need you to stop and think again. We're talking about a bunch of colored people, black people, who are allegedly dealing with a different form of slavery. They have no voice. They're fighting for their rights. They're fighting for civil rights, to be seen. He's coming to them, telling them, to be honest with you, the only way you're ever going to be free is to just die. You remember that old Negro spiritual, and before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my Lord to be free. He played on their vulnerability. He found the glitch in their algorithm and continued to use it and made it so pretty that it almost sounded like, you know what? You are absolutely right. This sounds like the hymns our ancestors used to sing. Why stay here and continue to be antagonized, continue to be tortured, continue to not be seen? continue to be broken down, continue to be seen as beneath, underneath, less than, when I can just choose my own fate and destiny and go ahead and be free. He played them, but he was able to because he already had their mind. And when they realized he already had their mind, it was too late to break control, to break free from the matrix. It was like they took the blue pill so long when they decided to take the red when it didn't work. Can you imagine?
You had it?
No.
I tried to give it to you. I laid down my life practically. I practically died every day to give you peace. And you still not had any peace. You look better than I've seen you in a long while, but it's still not the kind of peace that I wanted to give you. The person's a fool who continues to say that you're winning when you're losing. Win one, lose two. What? I didn't hear you, ma'am. You have to speak up. It's a sweet thought. Who said that? Come on up and speak it again, honey. Say him up and say it about talk about. It's taken off. No plane is taken off. Suicide. They have done it. Stone has done it. But somebody, can they talk, can they not talk to San Francisco? See, the Stone does not get by with this infamy. This is infamy. He has done the thing he wanted to do. To have us destroyed.
And when we destroy ourselves, we're defeated. We let them, the enemy, defeat us.
Did you see I live to fight no more forever?
Yes, I saw that.
Did you not have some sense of pride and victory in that man? He would not subject himself to the will and whim of people who tell that they're going to come in whenever they please and push into our house, come when they please, take who they want to, talk to who they want to. Is that living? That's not living to me. That's not freedom. That's not the kind of freedom I sought.
But I think where they made their mistake is when they stopped to rest. If they had gone on, they would have made it. But they stopped to rest.
It's over, sister. It's over. We've made that day. We made a beautiful day. And let's make it a beautiful day. Let's get out.
We'll win. We win when we go down. Tim Stone has nobody else to hate. He has nobody else to hate. Then he'll destroy himself. I'm speaking here not as the administrator. I'm speaking as a prophet today. I wouldn't step in this seat and talk so serious if I didn't know what I was talking about. If there's any way to call back the immense amount of damage that's going to be done, but I cannot separate myself from the pain of my people. And you can't either, Christine, if you stop to think about it. You can't separate yourself. We've walked too long together.
I know that, but I still think as an individual, I have a right to...
You do, and I'm listening.
What I think, what I feel, and I think we all have a right to our own destiny as individuals.
Right.
And I think I have a right to choose mine, and everybody else has a right to choose theirs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I'm not criticizing. I'm not doing it. What's that?
That's what
I said today. That's what plenty of people said today with their lives.
I think I still have a right to my own opinion.
I'm not taking it from you. I'm not taking it from you.
Christine, you only standing here because he was here in the first place. So I don't know what you're talking about, having an individual life. Your life has been extended to the day that you're standing there because of him.
Because of him. Again, I want y'all to remember, this is someone who came to these people as a religious leader at first. Remember, he said he was a prophet. That's why y'all gotta stop trying to follow and run after all these people who say they're prophets. Do you not realize when a person opens their mouth and speaks to you, they are speaking something over you? That's why it's not good to allow people to speak negativity to you all the time. If you're around somebody that's always speaking negative, they're pouring those seeds of negativity into you. Then you're going to start wondering why all of a sudden you start acting negative. You start talking negatively. You angry all the time. Now you starting to be bitter. And you trying to figure out where it came from. Maybe it was somebody you was talking to. Somebody you let in your house. Somebody you went to their house. Somebody who spoke something that planted a seed in your life. And remember, the thing about seeds is seeds grow down before they grow up. That thing goes down and takes root before you ever see it break ground. You be careful. See, I'm trying to help y'all without helping y'all. I'm trying to help us without helping us. So that we can stop falling for the trap. So that people can stop exploiting the glitches in our algorithm and exploiting our vulnerability. Because we keep showing it to them. We keep showing them our buttons and then getting mad when they push them. Then we don't have our eyes open so that we can pay attention to who's surrounding us. Who showed up when I started going through? That's somebody trying to exploit the glitch in your algorithm. Then they gone once you're not going through anymore. Like they only like you when you're struggling, when you're sad, when you're broken, when you're torn. That's the only time they want to be around you. Because it makes them feel better when you're torn down and beaten and abused. This was another form of slavery. And these people didn't even see it. Because they wanted the opportunity to live in peace. Black people with white people. Not dealing with racism. Building together. Growing together. Nothing wrong with that ideology. The problem, again, I'll say, was the person at the helm.
Well, it's like that she has much right to speak to anybody else, too. What'd you say, Ruby? You regret it this very day if you don't die. You'll regret it if you don't die. You'll regret it.
Too many people.
I saved them, but I made my example. I made my confession. I made my manifestation, and the world was not ready for me. Paul said, I was a man born out of due season. I've been born out of due season just like all we are, and the best testimony we can make is to leave this goddamn world. Peace.
You must be scared to die. I'm not talking to her. Will you let me talk?
You're talking.
Would you make her sit down and let me talk while I'm on the floor, or let her talk?
But you tell the leader what to do. It really isn't. I've listened to you. You asked me about Russia. I'm right now making a call to Russia. What more do you suggest? I'm listening to you. If Russia gives me one slight bit of encouragement, I just now instructed them to go there and do that.
All right, now everybody hold it. We didn't come. Hold it.
That's longer to maintain. To lay down your burdens. I'm going to lay down my burdens down by the riverside. So we lay them down here in the side of Guyana. What's the difference? No man didn't take our life right now. He hadn't taken it. But when they start shooting out the air, they'll shoot some of our innocent babies. I don't want to see this, Christy. But they got to shoot me to get through to some of these people. I'm not letting her take your jar. Can you let them take your jar?
See John die?
What's that?
You mean you want to see John, the little one that killed?
I want to see. I see.
Are you saying that you think he thinks more of them than other children hears?
John,
That's what you're saying?
But you're acting. Do you think I'd put John's life above others? If I put John's life above others, I wouldn't be standing with his jar. I'd send John out. He could go out on the driveway tonight.
Because he's young. They're young.
I know, but he's no different to me than any of these children here. He's just one of my children. I don't prefer one above another. I don't prefer him above your jar. I can't do that. I can't separate myself from your actions or his actions. If you've done something wrong, I'd stand with you. If they wanted to come and get you, they'd have to take me.
All ready to go. If you tell us we have to give our lives now, we're ready. I'm pretty sure all the rest of the sisters and brothers are with me.
A month I've tried to keep this thing from happening, but I now...
Just mind gone. If you tell me I gotta, where do you find a scripture in the Bible? But see, this is what happens when you don't read for yourself. I don't care if it's school. I don't care if it's work. Listen, when I'm on a job, I need to see the policy manual. I need to see the handbook. Because you're not just going to tell me that I'm supposed to do something that's not in the policy. No, if you're going to make me abide by the book, then I'm going to make you abide by the book. This is why y'all got to read for yourself and stop letting people tell y'all who y'all supposed to be, what you supposed to believe, what you supposed to think. Read it for yourself. If you believe in God, grab the Bible, read it for yourself. Do you know all you got to do? Pray and ask God, look, God, open my eyes, my ears, and my understanding, that I may see, hear, and understand what it is that you're trying to say to me through the words in this book. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. It's not mystical. It's not mysterious. Ask him to reveal to you what it means. I guarantee you'll realize half the time that what you've been listening to ain't even true. That ain't even what the scripture's talking about. You just had somebody charismatic enough to make it sound good. And people drank the Kool-Aid. People are still drinking the Kool-Aid. David Taylor. That's how all this started with us talking about this. David Taylor, Michelle Brennan, making people drink the Kool-Aid. Only difference is Jim Jones catered to a black audience. David Taylor catered to the money. Jim Jones wanted to oppress. David Taylor wanted to impress. It's the only difference. He wanted to be flashy. So he went to where the money was. Majority of his congregation, when you go to his channel, I showed y'all, because it's still up. Put in Apostle David Taylor on YouTube and his channel is going to come up. They're still broadcasting, even though he facing charges. Still broadcasting. People still sewing to a production. The equivalent of what I do when I do a video for y'all. People drink the Kool-Aid because they want to believe so bad in something that they're willing to believe in anything just to believe in something. Instead of stepping back and saying, you know what? I'm finna find out for myself because I'm tired of y'all leading me astray. Or better yet, God, direct me to the leader, the shepherd that you want me to sit under. God, I refuse to have another man in my life until you send me the one that can be a leader in my life. I refuse to have another woman in my life until you send me somebody that can help me lead. Who will walk by my side and we can build an empire together. until y'all do that, people are going to continue to exploit the glitch in your algorithm.
It's the realest Darwin being that this happened to us. That we lay down our lives in protest against what's being done. That we lay down our lives to protest in what's being done. The criminality of people, the cruelty of people. Who walked out of here today? Did you notice who walked out? Mostly white people. Mostly white people walked. I'm so grateful for the ones that didn't, those who knew who they are. But there's no point. There's no point to this. We are born before our time. They won't accept us.
So basically what he just told them, if y'all got your investigation discovery hats on, he basically told them that the white people left to oppress you again. Remember, his whole persona is built on this ideology of being an apostolic Pentecostal prophet, as well as a socialism preacher. So he targeted the social ills in the black community and used that to woo them in to his community, his commune, to his world, his town. So now when people are arguing about leaving and taking their own destiny into their hands, now in order to round them back up again, reel them back up again, he's using that socialism pitch again. The white people only left because they're trying to oppress you. They're trying to go and get some people to take your freedom away again. It's like a double entendre. It's like an oxymoron. It is the greatest example of reverse psychology I have ever seen in my life. I'm trying to make you die to take away your freedom. But in order to convince you that my way is the right way, I'm going to convince you that I'm trying to make you die to set you free. And they left because they don't want you to be free. Do it make sense when you hear it out loud? Now I want you to take that and flip it to you, your relationship, your friendships, all the ships in your life. Flip it. And I want you to think about any conversations you've had with anybody that sounds remotely like that. Who they're always trying to bring you a mirage of one thing when it's actually something else. Think about it. I need you to think. Think. Get that person in your head. That person who popped in your head as soon as I said that might be somebody you need to cut off. They may be trying to get you to drink the Kool-Aid. I'm trying to help y'all without helping y'all, because y'all know I can't tell you I'm helping you. This little girl over here with only 900 and something subscribers. I can't tell you I'm trying to help you till I get Tasha K level. On this level, I gotta tell you I'm trying to help you without helping. So y'all receive it.
And I don't think we should sit here and take any more time for our children to be endangered, because if they come after our children and we give them our children, then our children will suffer forever. I have no quarrel with you coming up. I like you. I personally like you very much.
These people get hostile when you try to...
Oh, well, some people do. But then just some people do. Put it that way. I'm not hostile. You have to be honest, and you say, and if you want to run, you'd run with them, because anybody could have run today. They would have wanted to. I know you're not a runner. your life is precious to me. It's as precious as John's. And I don't, what I do with weight and justice and judgment. I've weighted against all evidence.
Okay, that's all I've got to say.
What comes now, folks? What comes now?
Progressive, I'm so glad you said that, because that's one of the reasons why I wanted to play this tape. I wanted to play this audio so that y'all can hear what brainwashing sounds like. See, a lot of times with these stories, we see the aftermath. We don't see kind of what led up to it. We don't have a narcissist like this who records the crimes and the conversation. See, we never get that. We get the aftermath. But to be able to hear the way, especially the way this story ended, to be able to hear the way he twisted words and played on their vulnerability and their social situation and made them think that out of all the white devils, and I'm not calling white people white devils, I'm using that phrase because that's what he used to woo them in. Out of all the white devils, he was the savior that was pulled out from amongst them to help save them from them. And they didn't realize he was probably worse than what they looked at as the enemy. Because everybody ain't out to get you. He targeted you. All white people at this time did not hate blacks. He clearly did. But they followed hate which masqueraded around as love. Because you're speaking a language that I want to hear, even though you're presenting a persona that I hate. That is brainwashing at its finest. I'm going to make you accept me, even though you know I don't accept you. Do it make sense when you say it to yourself out loud? Because now I'm going to tell you again to take that and put it to everybody attached to you in your life. I'm going to make you think I like you when every action that I show you says I hate you. But I'm masquerade like I like you because I want you to think I like you. Because if you know I don't like you, then you'll be able to stop me from destroying you. But as long as I can use everything that I can, which means every vulnerability that you have, I play to it. I play on it. Then I can keep you right where I want you until I destroy you. That's how some of y'all friendships broke up. That's how some of your relationships broke up. And y'all didn't see it coming. Because you didn't realize why you was throwing out so much love. And while they were throwing out the word love, their actions was actually saying hate. And by the time you realized it, friendship damaged, destroyed, pulverized beyond repair, relationships shattered to dust. And your heart is just about irreparably damaged. Think about it.
Everybody hold it.
Stay peace. Stay peace. Stay peace. Stay peace. Stay peace. What's come? Don't let this. Just take Dwyer on down to the East House.
Everybody be quiet, please.
Got some respect for our lives.
That means sit down, Sit down.
I know. I tried so very, very hard. We're trying over here to see what can happen in Los Angeles. Who is it? Get Dwyer out of here before something happens to him. Dwyer? I'm not talking about you, Jara. I said Dwyer. Ain't nobody gonna take you, Jara. I'm not letting them take you, Jara. Get in, folks. It's easy. It's easy. Yes, my love.
At one time, I felt just like Christine felt. But after today, I don't feel anything because the biggest majority of the people that left here were white. And I know it really hurt my heart because
Broke your heart, didn't it?
It broke my heart to think that all of these years that these white people have been with us and they're not a part of us. So we might as well end it now because I don't see...
Talking, the congressman has been murdered.
Do y'all hear how twisted that ideology sounded? Did you hear what I just said to y'all about finding the glitch in your algorithm? He played on them and made himself seem like he was the great white hope for black people struggling with white people trying to hold them down. And the only way to truly be free is before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. I don't have to use the words that y'all used. All I have to do is use the same ideology. And it's automatically going to trigger something on the inside of you because you remember. And he played on it. To the point this woman said, I'm ready to go ahead and end it because the white people that's been here with us all this time, now they leaving us here to deal with this by ourselves. So now the white people are leaving us again, not realizing these people was running for their life. They was trying to live. Y'all see how tricky the enemy can be? The manipulation. Y'all better beware of these people with these sunglasses. I told y'all. Every time you see him, he got on sunglasses. The eyes is the gateway to the soul. Anybody that wears sunglasses 24/7, you trying to hide your eyes. Why? That's just my opinion. Another thing is a person that can't look in your eyes when they talking to you. I don't trust you. You can't look me in my eyes. I need to be able to see whether you lying to me, whether you keeping it on the up and up, whether you playing in my face. I need to be able to look in your eyes and see. Why would a leader want to cover up his eyes? Think about it. Maybe, just maybe, because if I take off these glasses for too long, you'll see that I'm lying to you.
It's all over, all over. What a legacy, what a legacy. But the Red Brigade's the only ones that ever made any sense anyway. They invaded our privacy, they came into our home, they followed us 6,000 miles away. The Red Brigade showed them justice. The congressman's dead. please get us some medication. It's simple. It's simple. There's no convulsions with it. It's just simple. Just please get it. Before it's too late, the GDF will be here. I tell you, get moving, get moving, get moving.
So what you guys are getting ready to listen to and what you are hearing, just in your mind picture. We just watched the video of the congressman and all of the people who were trying to leave at the play on the air mat, leave on the plane on the air mat, be senselessly sticky, icky down, except for the few people who managed to escape. So now, he's trying to make them think that one of the defectors unalived the congressman and the people, so they need to be quick about taking the medicine, as he calls it. So what you're hearing now is the people are going to begin to drink the Kool-Aid. I need you to keep this in your mind, juice, whatever it was with the cyanide poison in it. I need you to keep that in your mind as we're listening to this last part.
Don't be afraid to die. If 50 people land out here, they'll torture some of our children here. They'll torture our people. They'll torture our seniors. We cannot have this. Are you going to separate yourself from whoever shot the congressman? I don't know who shot him. Speaker Pete and those had a right to go, and they had a right to. How many are dead? Oh, God Almighty, God Almighty. Patty Parks is dead.
To endure long enough in a safe place to write about the goodness of Jim Jones.
I don't know how in the world they're ever going to write about us. It's just too late. It's too late. The congressman's dead. The congressman's dead. Many of our traitors are dead. They're all laying out there dead. I didn't, but my people did. My people did. They're my people. And they've been provoked too much. They've been provoked too much. What's happened here has been this has been an act of provocation. Yes.
To have them to give Ted something to take him, I'm satisfied, okay?
What's that?
I said if it's them to give Ted something so he won't have to let him go through, okay?
That's fine.
When I told her what I did, she gave me champagne.
Please, can we hasten with that medication? You don't know what you've done. I tried. Move, please move.
What's it coming with 2 GDF?
They saw it happen and ran in the bush and dropped a machine guns. I don't know my life. But there'll be more. You got to move. Are you going to get the medication here? You got to move. Marshall, in about 40 minutes.
You have to move, and the people that are standing there in the aisle go stay in the radio room yard, but everybody get behind the table and back this way, okay? There's nothing to worry about. Everybody keep calm and try and keep your children calm. And the older children can help love the little children and reassure them. They aren't crying from pain. It's just a little bitter tasting, but they're not crying out of any pain. Annie McGowan, can I please see you back?
I used to do before I came here. So let me tell you about it. It might make a lot of you feel a little more comfortable. Sit down and be quiet, please. one of the things that I used to do, I used to be a therapist. And the kind of therapy that I did had to do with reincarnation in past life situations.
Yes.
And every time anybody had the experience of going into a past life, I was fortunate enough through Father to be able to let them experience it all the way through their death, so to speak. And everybody was so happy when they made that step to the other side.
When you step, there's no other thing you can do but step that way. It's the only way to step. The choice is not ours now. It's out of our hands.
If you have a body that's been crippled, suddenly you have the kind of body that you want.
A little rest. A little rest.
It feels good. You've never felt so good, family. I tell you. You've never felt so good is how that feels.
And I do hope that those attorneys will stay where they belong and don't come up here. What is it? What is it? Get what? It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Only at first is it hard. It's hard only at first. Living, you're looking at death. It only looks. Living is much more difficult. Raising up every morning and not knowing what's going to be the night's bringing. It's much more difficult. It's much more difficult.
I just want to say something to everyone that I see that is standing around and crying. This is nothing to cry about. This is something we should all rejoice about. We should be happy about this. They always told us that we should cry when you're coming into this world. Well, when we're living and we're living it peaceful, I think we should be happy about this. I was just thinking about Jim Jones. He just has suffered and suffered and suffered. He is the only God, and he don't even.
So that's the end of the clip that I have for the ending. So, of course, after this section, they drank the Kool-Aid. They found the bodies the next day, the congressman and everyone. Just, when I think back on this story, and I just want us to remember, the reason we're having this conversation, we're not simply talking about a man. We got to think further than that. We're talking about a type, a species. We're talking about a persona, a spiritual scammer with a Bible in one hand and an agenda in the other. It's not pure. It's not about helping the people. It's about helping themselves. For whatever twisted reason. When I think about what Jim Jones actually did, this was brilliantly diabolical. And I say that because it makes you stop and think about all of the religious leaders, all of the cult leaders, all of the political leaders. And how do you get a vote? You find the glitch in the people's algorithm. You find out what their concerns are. You find out what they're struggling with. And you base your entire campaign around what they're struggling with. Whether or not you plan on doing it, it don't matter. All you have to do is say you're going to do it. And let your words be pretty enough and say it with enough confidence, and you got the vote. Same thing here. He was able to convince these people that the only way to live is to die. And that was God's will. Make it make sense. But y'all listen, I am getting ready to drop the link so that y'all can come up. For those of you who want to have a conversation, there we go. Told y'all I'm on 2 different programs. I got StreamYard and OBS running. But y'all listen, if y'all want to come up, I did drop the link. All that I'm asking is that you make sure you stay on topic. Give other people a chance to speak. There is no rudeness or disrespect at all tolerated on my panel. This ain't that at all. But I do want to hear what you guys have to say. We are going to conclude talking about Jim Jones tomorrow because I do have some video clips of some people who survived. There was one lady, I know her name was Hyacinth, and I'll probably try to find her picture and the pictures of the survivors, see if I can find a clip of everyone who passed away. But there were a few people who survived this, and I just know mentally they have to have like survivor's remorse. Have to. I couldn't even imagine. And it makes me stop and think about the individuals that were there, that were a part of it, that were being forced to end their lives without their permission. And even the individuals who did it because they thought it was the way. And Jim Jones ain't the last one of these we're going to be talking about. Welcome up, Nisi.
Hey, everybody. How's everybody doing? Much love. Shout out to Father Locke, Progressive, Zach, our confidants who couldn't be here. Listen, guys. A lot of this stuff that we might discuss tonight could be allegedly, so I'm going to cover that right now. Some of this stuff could be allegedly what we mentioned, and some of this stuff could also be true. So we just going to put that out there right now. Some of these things that we might mention could be allegedly. But how you doing, Champagne?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing just fine. But this made me drop a tear while we were discussing it while I was in the chat, because this is like genocide out of this world. And as you can see from the pictures that you were showing, it was a lot of melanated people who had been hoodwinked and bamboozled by this deviant.
Absolutely.
He was convincing these people to do things, even those who were trying to be woke and started understanding what was really going on. He still was convincing them to unalive themselves. He was a sick individual.
You know what? And you made a really good point. And if people would take that and flip it around to themselves and think about how much stuff we've gotten into because we let other people convince us to do it, or we follow people into situations that we shouldn't have been in just because we like the aesthetic of it. Some of us have gotten with men because they look good, gotten with women because they look good. We didn't care, didn't know whether they was abusive, whether they was a cheater, whether they had 12 packages or not. Because, y'all got STD simplex is going on now. But just because it sounded good, we followed after it and jumped up and did it. This man was able to lead people astray. Yet some women right now, to this day, being led astray by their boyfriend right now. While we on this live talking. And that's why I say the mindset, the narcissistic mindset is what we need to pay attention to, because some of us date this personality. And we don't see it till it's too late.
Well, I'm not going to mention some of the things that I know of, because we can just discuss that tomorrow, since you're going to do the survivors tomorrow. But I can say this: there is a show that comes on, that the producer is Tyler Perry, and it is based off of what Jim Jones had done. And that this show even shows you that the things that the person that they call the highest. And I wasn't just saying that Jim kept them glasses on just because he was just trying to hide. No, he was also hiding the fact that he was high also. A lot of his paranoia came from drug use. So it's like by even doing that, and because it went from them worshiping God to him being a God. Did you see him calling himself a prophet? Did you see those levels of how he undermined these people and was so demented that he had these people convinced that he was the God? And it started off him using God to convince them to be in a position that they were in.
Factual.
My
story here has so many layers, and I want us, even while we're looking at him, because what he did was horrible, I want us to just pay attention to the things that he said and the way that he behaved. And I want us to start looking for that personality in individuals that we deal with, so that we know exactly who we need to run far, far, far away from. Because
Yes,
so many
Lord.
times, even when people are dealing with the Bible, we read the Bible and we just see it as them back then and what they did then. Because we don't know how to take it and apply it to everyday life so that it fits us now. Even with the Jim Jones situation, like I said, it's a lot of women dating a Jim Jones type personality. They don't realize it until they staring down the barrel of a gun. Or looking at the tip of a blade, that you realize you're dealing with somebody who's just narcissistic, sadistic, masochistic, demented, twisted. But you don't realize it till it's too late. Or you realize it, but you're so entranced by them that you're willing to stay and not walk away, because I'd rather have you and deal with this than to deal with this and not have you.
These people started off being free amongst this so-called church he had built, to being forced to stay within the realm of this. And that is where I, in my own opinion, I feel like that's when you are being part of a cult, when you are being forced to stay upon something that now that your eyes are open and you see that this may not be what you thought it was, and now you're being forced to be a part of it. That is cult-like to me, in my opinion. What do you think, Champagne?
It's cult-like, just like some of these relationships, cult-like. Some of these friendships, cult-like. Anytime God doesn't force anything upon you. That's why we have a free will. So anything that's forced is cult-like. Anything that's forced is witchcraft. That's exactly what it is. These people, by the time they realized they were tricked, it was too late and they couldn't leave. But you get millions of dollars from the government, from welfare, checks, food, vouchers, people donating to y'all. Because again, what I said, it wasn't that the idea of what he had was bad. He was just a horrible leader. Horrible leader. Had that been somebody else that would have did it the right way, that probably could have flourished into something great. But no, you got a trash leader at the helm that don't care nothing about people.
Well, cyanide is a dangerous toxin that does cause a type of, I want to say, pain and agony before death. So those children were in pain, and to hear that's what broke my heart, you know. And for them to try to cover that up, and when people weren't trying to listen to that, because now, like you say, they really waking up now. If they weren't woke then, they were waking up now. He used one of their melanated people amongst them to convince them to to still keep going, to demise themselves, which is something that is being done also to this day. I don't even have to go into detail. If some people know what I'm talking about, you don't even have to say. They use that to this day. Our other people among, because all skin people ain't the skin folk, okay? They will use our own people to tell us to demise our own selves. And that's really, really sad.
I think the sadder part about it is not they will use our own people against us. It's the fact that our own people are allowing themselves to be used against us.
Well, that's the first thing he did. He called that man over there. Once he started seeing that them people wasn't believing in what he was saying, who he called? John. John, come on over here and explain that to them.
John had to still go. That's the problem.
Yeah,
John had to still go. We can point fingers at who gave the direction. At the end of the day, we all got a choice. So if you are going to be used to take down your own people, then no matter who sent you, you still got a choice. John could have said no. Shoot me.
John just as wrong.
John could have said, I'm standing with Christine because I got a choice over my own life. And you don't get to decide when I leave her or if I leave or stay. But John didn't do that. John made a choice within itself, much like you see today. Like, to your point, you got a lot of black people who are being used to tear down the black community. But it's a choice.
That's right.
I'm not mad at the person who sent you. I'm mad at you because you listen. You go break into somebody's house and you lose your life. Is it the person who sent you over to the house to break in fault you lost your life? Or your fault for being a dumbass and go?
Yes, please believe I was mad at John too, because I was fighting the air when I heard John just come up there and do what he did. Because I was expecting John to say, well, come on, man, the kids, I was expecting that. That did not happen.
He was too charismatic. You could even tell from his tone. It's one thing that's always going to reach black people, and that's God. Because we believe in God. You start talking about God, you're going to gather attention. But the problem is, it's not just that way with black people. It's that way with our cream team, our hazelnut, our caramel macchiato, all of them. You mentioned God. That's why
I agree.
That's why I said when they had that movie with Denzel, where he was blind. When that dude said wars have been fought over the words in this book. Everybody knows the Bible has power. God's name has power. So if I want to enslave a people and entrap a people, all I got to do is use the name of the individual that they celebrate as having power, whether I believe in it or not. I don't have to believe the encyclopedia to memorize it and be able to quote it. You got a lot of people that's quoting scripture and quoting Bible and praying, that's doing all this on social media, on TikTok, all of this. They don't mean they believe in words. They just know what they say. They know how to break it down. They know how to quote it. And they know how to quote it in such a way that you believe that they believe. Whether or not they believe.
I noticed with these cults too, that the first thing they do is make sure finances are secured. That's the first thing they do, is make sure you are bringing your finances and your monies and putting them all in a pot. That was a red flag right there. The government was even sending money over there, and he was not even giving that to the people. That man was sitting on top of money and had them people living like that.
He did that after he got the control. See, once I got your mind, you're going to bring me your money. That he was basically a pimp. He was basically a pimp. I just don't know if I read that was he having sex with the minors?
Yeah. But see, I ain't want us to go into that yet if you're going to talk about the survivors tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Because,
Yeah, I'm going to look into that some more.
Yeah.
But all I got to do is control you. I get your mind, you gonna pay. That's why I said he was like a pimp. You
And I
bring
can't
me your
say this
money, you
too.
gonna do what I tell you to do.
hmm
I
He
control
also
this. I
adopted
run this.
some black kids too. He had adopted some black kids and some other little Mexican kids. He had some harems of different kids with him and his wife, and where they was living amongst each other at on that compound.
Crazy.
He was a sick man.
And all them people blindly followed him because they thought he was the way.
He said he is a god, a prophet, Champagne. He said he was a prophet.
He was Jesus.
Mm, 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 mm.
That's what he convinced them people. He was the Son of God. So he clearly died on the cross and got up on the third day with
The way
all
they was
power.
defending him, I felt so bad, man. Like I said, I dropped a tear. I'm still feeling emotional right now. How misguided and misled the people were.
It makes me angry. And the reason it makes me so angry, not even just how misguided and misdirected they were, because that's anger enough. That's a different level of anger. But when you stop and look at the methodology of this scam that he pulled on these people, the way he played on their vulnerability and got them to put complete, first of all, it needs to be studied. It needs to be studied how he was able, that would be the greatest marketing tactic ever put out on earth. If a person was able to truly study and understand how he was able to get all of these people to believe not only was he the Son of God, but the only way to be free was to end their life. Needs to be studied.
Yes.
And this ain't the only one. Because the other one that we gonna cover him too, the one that made the people think that a spaceship was coming to take them. What the hell?
Oh, I remember that story. Lord, that was sad too. Oh my goodness.
I'm sick of Earth too, but that wasn't nowhere in my
Exactly.
And that's why I say people just so hungry for the truth, they'll accept anything that sounds like or looks like the truth, even if it's a lie.
That's right.
And I'm going to accept it as the truth. And that's why I said take it and switch it around to your life and who you deal with, because we do the same thing. We'll rather, and that's where we get to saying that, we'll rather believe a lie than listen to the truth.
And the government was after him, right?
You tell me a hard lie than an easy. I mean, I'd rather you tell me a hard truth than an easy lie any day. I can deal with the truth. I can't deal with you lying to me. I can't deal with one day I realized that I thought you was a sheep, but you actually a wolf.
So the government was after him, right, Champagne? But he telling the people, oh, they're after us. You know, so we can't be here anymore. They're coming for us. So we no, they were coming for you. Cause they knew you wasn't doing right by them people over there. And you convinced them people that they was gonna come and take them and their children. And you the one who really did it.
All those people, just when I saw the pictures of just all those people just laying on the ground, just I'm like, oh my God. And
they
I
said
still don't
900 people.
Why, when they knew the congressman was going to check out that compound, when they knew they had weapons at that compound, why wouldn't they send that plane with some kind of protection?
That's right.
Why? Some kind of security.
You know why,
I
Champagne?
just
This is
don't
what I
understand.
believe. This is what I believe. I really do believe. Like you remember you put the point out there that because that part is true. He was part of the KKK at first. Okay, now as we do know back in those times, not saying it really was like this, but this is how I feel, and this is the reason why. Because when he was part of that, who's to say he never let that go to continue on with his journey? And he could have had help as far as when it came to who was coming after them and getting warnings and all of that. You see what I'm saying? So I believe when they went out there, they were told that they need guns and all of that, that them people were going to be released, knowing doggone well that they did have weapons and everything else. I don't believe that congressman went over there like that, knowing that they were gunned up like that without any type of help or anything. It was some type of discrepancy along that way, and some type of connection to be able to have that ability to mislead the congressmen and them reporters like that.
And see, I'm trying to think back. I don't even know if congressmen back then really had security the way you see it like now. So, because I got to stop and think about the fact that we are talking about a different time, like a different day and age. This was what, when was this? 74?
Yep, 74, 2 years before I was born.
Yeah, 2 years before I was born. So we thinking at a time where they probably didn't have a lot of security, but I'm still saying somebody should have said, this might not be smart for you to just go in it, because you going in blind. You don't have eyes in it. You don't know what's going on in it. And you just gonna go and you just gonna save everybody. You just gonna march into the enemy's camp and take back what he stole. And you don't have no equipment, no weapons, nothing to defend yourself, no protection, you went in by yourself. Probably because he was thinking he could do it under the radar. Like, act like he fit in. I don't know. It just seems like so many people senselessly died. When in all honesty, it could have been avoided.
Them babies were innocent. Them babies were innocent. Even if their parents were being misguided and misled and fell for the okie doke, them babies had nothing to do with that.
And you see why I say our babies are in trouble?
Yes. Them babies still had nothing. Some of them kids probably didn't even know what it was. Some of them kids are so innocent, they didn't know what was going on. Why could they not have been saved since y'all was gone? So, since everybody else, a lot of people were willing and all. Why did you have to do them babies like that? And see, when you take innocent lives like that, that's what leaves a lot of discrepancies behind, and so much turmoil and trauma is from them innocent children being unalive like that.
And a lot of the babies didn't want to take it. They forced them to take it. And then in the other house that they had, because you had Jonestown, then you had the other house. Because it happened so fast at Jonestown where they mixed the poison, the other house didn't have poison. So one of the moms took a knife and stuck her children till they were no more. And then her and the other lady took knives and slit each other's throats.
My Lord.
And somehow you thought, yeah, this is God. God will want us to do this. I'm still trying to make that connection, and I'll probably never be able to make it. The connection between what y'all were dealing with, what was going on, and y'all thinking this was God or godly or holy or your reasonable service or the words that's coming out of this man's mouth in any way reflects anything of God.
I want to think. I think that a lot of fear was used also. That that it was so much fear used that they felt like it wasn't no other way but to believe what this man was saying. Because once
You
he
know what?
started
I
seeing
agree with
people
you.
wasn't believing, I believe fear was used.
I think also what was used on top of it is people would rather belong to something than belong to nothing. So
Agreed.
I would sit here and put up with all of this, deal with this, just to say I belong to something in a world where I don't feel like I belong anywhere. And I think a lot of them could have potentially knew it was wrong, start feeling vibes that it was wrong. But this is my home. Prime example, you watched the movie Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You remember the scene when the old man got out of jail and couldn't handle being on the outside of jail, so he killed
Yep.
himself? Same
Institutionalization.
situation. Yeah, same
hmm
situation here. I would rather stay here and deal with the humiliation, deal with the torment, deal with the starvation, because at least here I belong. As messed up, as screwed up as it is, this is home. I belong here. I don't belong out there. I can't make it out there. I'd rather deal with what we're dealing with in here than to have to face what's going on out there.
It reminds you of a child knowing that he's been abused and hurt by his parents, but still love them anyway.
Don't that happen over and over again? And you find
Yes.
that same child doing everything that they can their whole life to
To
try to
stay
please
with him.
that parent, to try to find that love, to try to find the love they'll never get.
Wow, man.
Ain't
Wow.
that crazy?
The grooming at his finest. You hear me? He groomed them people.
That's definitely had them arguing back and forth over
Amongst each other.
unaliving themselves. That now, I've heard a lot of arguments in my day and age. A lot of them didn't make much sense. They really did. But to hear people arguing over drinking poison,
And keeping the children alive. Keeping the children. Because the lady ain't say, Christine ain't say nothing about her herself. Yeah, she questioned some things, but her main focus were those children.
and he turned around and flipped it.
What?
And because her mind already gone, she couldn't see. He is playing in y'all face. And y'all don't even see it.
He was
Time
so
and time again,
manipulative.
when I see girls, I was just seeing video of a girl. She went over to this house where her dude was at, and with his side piece. Ran up in the house. She was unalived. Another girl just on the video today. Her husband at the house with the side piece. She go over to the house knocking on the door. The mind gone. They done drunk the Kool-Aid. They stuck. They can't think for themselves. They can't think outside that individual. So I'm willing to make dumb decisions for you because I'd rather be dumb with you than be dumb without you. Do it make sense when you say it out loud?
Wow.
I'd rather be dumb with you than dumb without you. I'd rather stay with you than to get out there and potentially find another you or a worse you. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm finna learn from this. I ain't doing this no more. No, baby. I'm gonna wait on God to send me who meant for my life. You say, I'd rather stay right here because I don't want to start over. I know I dated this guy and he was when we had that conversation the other day about dates and romance and all of that on the live, and I was asking y'all to describe y'all most romantic date, and it was with him. And he was going through a divorce at the time. One day he comes to me. Now everything is going good. We ain't got no issues or nothing. Just wonderful relationship. This was back when, they used to take you out and paint the town red, some darts, some food, you go change clothes, go back out and kick it, One day he comes to me and tells me, my wife wants to make it work. I said, okay, what do you want? He said, I'm torn. I like what I got with you, but I feel like I owe it to my wife to make it work. I said, well, you got to do what's best for you. I'm not going to hold you back. That's your wife. If you feel like you need to go back to her and make it happen, I'm not standing in the way. Do you, boo-boo? I said, but I have a question. I said, if it didn't work the first time, what makes you think it's going to work the second? He said, to be honest with you, my battle is, do I start over with you, which is unfamiliar territory? Even though it's good right now, I don't know what it's going to be down the line. But with her, even though it's horrible, even though it be trash, I know what to expect. And he said, I'm almost willing to deal with that because I know what to expect, then try to start over and step into the unknown. And I looked at him and I told him, I said, I respect you for that. I can't get mad. I can't argue. Number one, that's your wife. Y'all have covenant. If you want to fight for your marriage, fight for your marriage. But it's the same way. People get to a place where I'd rather stay here and deal with the miserable than step out, start all over again, breathe fresh air, and see what can be possible. It's the fear of starting over and not fitting and not being accepted. Even if the acceptance is abusive, those people in their mind somehow felt, but I'm still accepted here for who I am.
Instead of recognizing it's another little TKO, they rather stay there and keep getting KO. Wow.
They'll keep getting KO. Because they don't
Mike Tyson punch out.
They don't recognize it as a TKO. They recognize it as fitting. Having a place they belong. Having someone that knows their name. Having someone that understands their plight. Understands what they're going through. And they're speaking to their issues. If that man would have been in there talking about all kind of white issues, then black people wouldn't have followed him like that. I can't get you and manipulate you talking about my issues. I got to get you talking about yours.
Yeah, that's how he got him too. That's how he got him.
Oh, you a single mother? Oh, how old are your kids? Oh, you got little ones? Where their daddy at? Oh, he ain't doing nothing for them? Oh, little mama, you too pretty to be out here trying to handle all that on your own. You need a man on your side that's going to look after you and make sure them kids are straight. They don't need to be struggling in this day and age. All you got to do is get with a real one, and I got you. I got you. Here, matter of fact, hold this right here so you know I got you.
You heard what he said. Them children belong to him. Yep, he said them was his children.
What you say?
He said them was his children. He said my children. He said all the kids were his. And that Tyler Perry movie Ruthless too, the highest did say, once your children become part of this cult, they are my children. They belong to me. Them ain't your children. Because you did not hear not one father stand up for his children. Because it was 2-parent households there also. You did not hear not one father stand up for them kids.
No, because they all sold out to him. They family. Y'all are just ornaments that he allowed me to wear. Y'all are ornaments he allowed me to hang on my tree temporarily because he can snatch them whenever he feel like them. This woman don't belong to me. She just by my side at this moment. These kids don't belong to me. They just by my side at this moment because at any time he can come and say that he wants them, he needs them, and they have to go. I don't have a choice. So this ain't my wife. This is his wife. These ain't my kids. These are his kids.
Because they looked at him as God.
Yeah. But a lot of people look at their relationships as God. Be falling for the trap. Drinking the Kool-Aid. Because it tastes good at first.
Yes, it does.
Until you realize it's poison. By the time you realize it's poison, it's too late.
Can't even spit it out.
Can't spit it out. Heartbroken. Mentally fractured. You about to lose your mind. You breaking car windows. You slashing tires because somebody done played with your mind.
Scratching your face, got bald spots.
To be honest with you, you ain't even really mad at him for real. You mad at yourself, but you taking it out on him. You mad at yourself because you feeling guilty because how did I let myself get played by this nigga? How did I let myself get played by this bro? Matter of fact, how did I let myself get played, period? How do that? My eyes supposed to be open. I'm supposed to have my head on the swivel. How did I fall for this? How did I not see this before I was almost out of here? And the sad part is, for a lot of people, just like the Jim Jones situation, by the time they see it, it's too late. It's too late. You done already drunk the poison. You can run now, but you're still gonna die.
Wow.
No matter
either way. Either way.
Now you're trapped and he's not gonna let you leave. So the only way you can leave, one lady, the Hyacinth lady, she hid under her bed. That's the way she survived. She was 70-some years old. She hid under her bed. Another guy, he was elderly in his 70s. He was asleep. So he slept through the whole thing. So I'm assuming they thought he was deceased. That's how he lived. So you listening to all these people screaming and dying in agony. Children, adults. And now it's too late. Nobody can escape. You try to run, they're going to shoot you down like rabid dogs. Or they're going to hold you down and force it in your mouth. And you sitting there and got to realize, this is probably my last day. And I thought I was just joining a community, being a part of someone who cared. Well, the words got to say they care too. The actions got to say they care too. Y'all be consistently letting y'all significant others tell y'all they love y'all. And they don't do not a doggone thing to show y'all they love y'all. It's just pretty words. You light up my life. And this the one they really get y'all with. Hold on. This the one they really get y'all with. I would give you the world on a silver platter if I could, but you can't. So why are you even attempting to promise me something you can't even give me? That's just pretty words. Talk to me about something tangible. But we fall for it because it sounds good. You would give me the world if you could give me the world. You know doggone well he can't give you the world. So why do you get turned on by him saying it? And he know you get turned on by him saying it. That's why he keeps saying it. That reverse psychology. Flip. And we keep falling for it.
Every time.
This entire story is great.
It's so
the level of
traumatizing
that he used is on a different level. That you basically killed a bunch of there was white people in there too.
Yeah,
you tried to wipe out another culture. So
genocide.
You want to bring them all in to kill them. This was your end goal the whole time. You, your sergeant at arms, all of that. This was your end goal. I'm starting to feel like he was always going to unalive him.
Yeah, it was an agenda.
He just needed the right moment. He wanted to do it in a way where he somehow looked like a martyr. But then the tapes came out and people survived. See, had the people not survived, then the truth of what really went on wouldn't have been told. Girl.
It's still touching to this day to see all those people laying on the ground unalive like that. Little children curled up in fetal positions. And the women who took those children's lives before that, I mean, their judgment day was crucial. It had to be.
I can't. I listened to it with y'all, and we still tomorrow. So make sure y'all pull up tomorrow night. We're going to continue with this Jim Jones story and the Jonestown Massacre. I do have 2 videos, and I'm gonna find some other things, but I found 2 videos of actual interviews from survivors of Jim Jones that I want to play for you guys tomorrow, so that we can listen to the survivors talk about what they experienced during this moment, not just even with like the whole totality of Jonestown, but just to hear the people's stories of what happened during this moment when you're literally watching people drop like flies. Like, you gotta imagine coming out like Hyacinth, the 70-some-year-old woman, coming out from under the bed the next day and looking around, and all she can see is hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of bodies. Babies. Just like, now that's strange fruit. That's strange fruit to me.
Yes.
They talk about southern trees bear strange fruit. No, the ground do too. Because covering this really gave me a different level of disdain for what Jim Jones actually did on a whole different level. And
I wanted to go through that recording, Champagne. I wanted to go. I wish I could have went through there. You hear me?
I don't even think people really paid attention to it. Like, listen. listen to hear instead of listening to listen. And really paying attention to what really happened in Jonestown. And understanding the fact that he targeted a whole nother culture. He was basically a serial killer.
Exactly.
Which was
a mass
because
serial killer.
Most serial killers. What makes this even crazier is that when you listen to a lot of people talk about serial killers, generally serial killers target their own. They say it's kind of rare when you find them target other cultures. He specifically targeted Black people. And they thought he changed. They thought he had broke away from his KKK daddy and changed, and he wanted to make it his plight to help them and to sit back and think about the fact that they thought they were following someone who was on their side, trying to help them build. And yet again, because their eyes were not open, they were looking and listening through the heart or through the eyes of their pain and their struggle. They were so easily able to be led astray.
Yep, they were hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Sad. But what I want y'all to do again, as we get ready to end this live, I want you to stop and think about not just what happened with Jonestown, but I want you to think about the character and the personality, the type. Remember, this isn't just about a man, this is about a type. The type of individual who would use manipulation, who would use vulnerability to try to take over and control other people. I want you to think about that personality. Then I want you to think about the people who are attached to you and find out if you have any of the wrong connections attached to you. Because until you start paying attention to everything, you're going to start missing everything. And you're going to start falling in every single trap that they lay out for you because your eyes aren't open and you're not paying attention. You can't look at these stories and just say that's them. You can't look at these stories and feel sorry, but not look at the personality behind the story and say, you know what? In this story, there's two personality types. There's the personality type that follows characteristics like this, and there's the personality who is characteristic like this. Which one are you? Or are you the individual whose eyes are open and is paying attention so that you don't become the type of person who falls for those characteristics, and you don't become the type of person who exhibits those characteristics? See, it's bigger than just Jim Jones. We got to pay attention to who we're listening to and who we're allowing to lead us and attach to us. You break some of them attachments, your life is going to change for the better. Too many of y'all have narcissistic personalities attached to you. Too many of y'all have sadistic personalities attached to you. If you got a person around you who is always talking about you negatively, you ugly, hey dumb, you so stupid. Everything that come out their mouth, whether it's joking or not, is always negative towards you. That's a narcissistic personality who thinks that you're beneath them. So they feel like it's okay to continually talk down to you because they feel like you're not on their level anyway. Those are people you need to let go of with the quickness. Throw them to the curb. Your partner, your friend should be the one consistently encouraging you to do better, to reach for the stars, to follow your dreams, to not make the same mistakes. Your real friend is the one that's looking at you and telling you, girl, that nigga ain't no good for you. Why you still play with him? Why do you still give him the time of day? He done already shown you what he was about. How many times he got to keep doing this to you before you wake up and realize he ain't the one?
That's
Your
right.
real dude's gonna look at you and tell you, bro, stop tripping. Hey, man, you already know. I ain't even got to say nothing. You already know what I'm finna say. Player to player, pimp to pimp, that ain't the one. That ain't the one. That ain't it. You can have fun with her, but don't be trying to wife her. That ain't wifey material. Your real friends gonna tell you the truth. They're not gonna let you crash and burn just for the sake of saying they on your side.
That's right. That's right.
So, Niecy, any final thoughts?
Yes, my final thought is we are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. Empress, when I tell you I am so proud of you of all the wonderful jobs you've been doing, the videos, be videoing, the rooms, be rooming. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. All I want people to do, the ones that's listening in the bushes, the ones that come on with us, can you guys please push that subscribe button, share the lives, because that puts the Empress in the algorithm, and like, it's free. That's all I wanted to say.
Like. I am excited. Let me tell y'all. So today we have had 31 views in the stream. We have had 7 concurrent viewers who have been with us kind of like consistently off and on. So I'm a little excited. Clock that. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Hit that like and subscribe button. Consider becoming a part of the Champagne Gang and the FizzFam. We are family over here. We are all about love, empowerment, upgrading, uplifting, going to the next level, going to the next dimension, and doing it with each other. When we learn something, we reach back and we grab the hands of our brothers and sisters so they can come up with us. We're not flying by ourselves. If I'm gonna fly, everybody that want to fly gonna fly with me. So we doing this thing together. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure we generally y'all have a late show for those of you who are coming in, because our show is more so laid back.
Yeah.
Relax, kick your feet up. You done took your shower. You got on your night clothes. You kicked up in bed, got the TV on or the tablet in your hand. You got your glass of champagne, alcoholic or not, no tea, no shade, whichever, or your sparkling water. If you are a non-alcoholic confidant, it is okay. But we kick back and we're more laid back. But we have real conversations and enjoy real empowerment before we get ready to go to bed and call it a night.
That's right.
So make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you will join us. Our shows are generally at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you come on in, join us. I am working on trying to do a morning show. For a lot of y'all that know, I am not at home. I am actually in the Midwest with my children, my grandson. So I don't have none of my studio equipment here. So I brought my laptop and my microphone. So I'm making all this work with limited equipment. But still, we gonna make it happen, make it beautiful. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being a part of the Champagne City. We are on our road to 1K and we are almost there. It has been, I've seen a lot of people, Niecy, it take them several years. I am quite proud of myself and my commitment, even though we've had some glitches, because a girl was going through, but got them videos out, and I'm almost at 1K in less than 2 years. We're coming up on 2 years, I want to say in January.
And you can't beat that with a bat, okay, baby? You
I
are
am
we getting
proud
there, okay?
of myself. Do you hear me? And
Can't
I
wait to
wouldn't have been able to do
celebrate.
it
Celebrate.
without my Champagne
Celebrate.
family. I wouldn't have been able to do it without y'all, because y'all are amazing. I love y'all.
Well,
Y'all,
you
let
too,
me tell
baby.
y'all something. Let me tell y'all something. When I am going through, a lot of times when I come on here and encourage y'all, I'm not encouraging y'all always because I'm in the best place. I get my encouragement from encouraging other people. It's like I get lifted out of where I'm at when I help to lift other people and encourage other people. So a lot of me dealing with my social anxiety, a lot of me dealing with being an introvert is me being able to come on here and share wisdom and knowledge with y'all and let y'all share the same with me. It ain't just about me. That's why I open up the panels. I want to hear what y'all got to say as well, because some of y'all got some wisdom that's unmatched that the world needs to hear. Y'all just scared to do it. So I'm trying to give you a platform to be able to do it. Share y'all wisdom. Get it out there. These people need some wisdom these days. Can't y'all see they lost?
That's right.
Completely lost. They need help. And if you got the help, if you think you got the help, we got the panel. Come on, let's help the people while we're helping ourselves. Do y'all see how that sound different? Y'all see how that sound different than what Jim Jones was preaching? I carry your loads on my shoulder. I'm the best thing ever happened to you. I'm the only friend you'll ever have. Come on. Just tricking the people. And the sad part is, if we honestly really all lay the weapons down and learn how to come together, the amount of stuff that we could create and build, innovation, bruh, I can just, if we would just understand how the Bible says, strive for peace with all men. If we can understand how to just strive for peace instead of always aiming for conflicts, can you imagine what we could accomplish together, hand in hand? But no. Hell, Jim Jones almost showed us. If he wasn't twisted and demented, he almost showed us what it could look like when you have blacks and whites working together for one common goal. Can you imagine if he would have taken that money and really invested it into that community and really built it up on love and respect and family and community? Can you imagine what they could have accomplished? Goodness gracious. Lord, I just keep saying, Lord, I just want you just try me one time. Just, Lord, I promise you, you bless me with the finances. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how to show the people love through us to them. But y'all, I done kept y'all long enough talking about Jim of the Jones. Drop in the chat. Let me know what you think about today's show. What you think about this story, what you think about the tapes, what you think about the Jim Jones situation as a whole. Let me know if you had any family who are a part of this, and if you've had have any stories that you can share that have been shared with you from your family. And if I look back and see some comments on this live from individuals who have stories to share, then I'm going to make sure that I do a special panel on tomorrow, just so that you guys can come up and share your stories, because I feel like it needs to be heard. This is a story that needs to be heard. The survivors who went through this need to be heard so people can hear what they actually went through. All right? Thank you guys for joining me in the Champagne City for another Champagne conversation. Hit that like button, subscribe button, It is September, so it is my birthday month, which means it is Virgo season. So if you want to support the channel or drop your girl some vittles for her birthday, go ahead and do so. The Cash App is on the screen. You don't have to. It's not mandatory. It's not one of those channels. But if you would like to, it would be greatly appreciated. Otherwise, your like, your view, your comment is enough. Replay gang is enough. And we thank you because every little matter, every little thing that you do matters and it counts to me. All right? Until next time, Champagne Gang, always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. Ta-ta.